Hey gamers, let's talk about Druid. And before we look at these, I just want to say, Lightning Bloom, Overgrowth, those dogs are dead. Those guys are leaving standard. So, like these big things here, they might be a little worse because of that. We got Green Thumb Gardener, a 6 mana 5/5 Naga. Battle Cry. Refresh empty mana crystals equal to the cost of the most expensive spell in your hand. I mean, it's okay. The spell needs to cost 7 or more in order to, like, get something out of it. But, I mean, if it's 6 mana, it's still a free 5/5, right? But you do have to play it first. So, I don't think it's too amazing, but it's still like a free 5/5. And a free 5/5 is always good. So, maybe 2-star. 2-star, 3-star on a good day. 2-star because it's a bad day. I don't think it's gonna see a lot of play. Because I don't think it will. Dozing Kelp Keeper, 1 mana 4/4 rush. Starts dormant. After you've cast 5 mana worth of spells, awaken. I think this, however, will see more play. Because it's easy to spend 5 mana worth of spells. And this is just a lot of stats for a very cheap cost. And you're going to be doing something you do anyways. And I'll explain it a little more with this guy, with Miracle Growth, but I think this is what they want. Nice, cheap, good stats. Good stats for the cost. So I'm going to say this is 3 stars. Maybe 3.5. Let's just go with 3.5. Seaweed Strike, 3 mana nature spell. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If you played a Naga while holding it, also gain 4 attack. Not amazing, but it is nice for Druid questline, right? Is that tech good? No. This is also really controlly though, because you get to deal 4 damage twice, right? That is pretty nice if you're trying to control stuff. And it gets a little wide, a little tall. It's like medium. And that's exactly what Druid wants. They want more removal, because that is what they lack. So, I think this card's actually good. I want to give this maybe like 4 stars. I think it's gonna be seeing play. Now, their Naga isn't amazing, but remember, 1 mana Naga, right? So, it's gonna be very easy to proc this early. Oh, Bottom Feeder. 1 mana 1/3. Death Rattle. Add a Bottom Feeder to the bottom of your deck with permanent +2/+2. I think this card's pretty good in aggro, right? He's gonna feed on a lot of bottoms. He just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now, sadly, we only have 1 Dredge in Druid. I think the classes only got 1 each, but still. I don't think the neutral ones are amazing, though. I mean, there is Sir Finley. I think he's kind of amazing. So, I think it's good, but like, how many times are you realistically pulling it back up, right? Or even once is insane. So, 4-star. Getting closer to 5. Because it just seems pretty good. Because if you get this twice, it's nutty, right? Ooh. 0 mana, aquatic form, Dredge. If you have the mana to play it, draw it. I think this is going to be 5 stars. I think this is nerfable to 1 mana. I think it might get nerfed to 1 mana during the expansion. Because this is like, it costs 0. and it draws you a card. So it's like, why wouldn't you run this in every Druid deck, right? So like we're losing Lightning Bloom, but we're getting Aquatic farm. And in a pinch, it secures your next draw. Like, especially, like, come on, even with a bottom feeder, it's like 0 mana. You're always going to be able to play bottom feeder. 5 stars, I think it's going to get nerfed. This is like running a 28 card deck. Because it's free draws. Free draw. Except maybe on turn, like, 1 or 2. Because you can always, yeah, it seems kind of nutty. As Cererian Gardens, 1 mana, give all minions in your hand +1/+1. Shuffle a better version that gives +1/+1 to hand, deck, and battlefield. I think this is good enough for aggro. Especially if this aquatic form bottom feeder deck is going to be a thing. Gardens fits nicely in that deck. So I'm going to give this star 5, or 4 stars, not necessarily 5. Just because the first half isn't amazing. But second half is really good, so 4 stars. A lot of good aggro stuff for Druid. Too bad they're not getting Savage Roar though. Flipper Friends, 5 mana nature spell. Choose one. Summon a 6/6 Orca with Taunt, or 6 Otters with Rush. I think this card is good. I think aggro and control alike can use this little guy, this little orky guy. Too bad there's no octopus. Because, for one, they're getting the your choose ones to choose both. Oh, actually, that wouldn't work. That'd be okay, because you'd get a 6/6, 5/1/1s, and your guy. But I don't think this card's amazing, but still good. Because you can go really wide with it. Or you could go really tall, and it's nice having that option. Plus the otters have rush. So definitely usable in control. I think the otters are usable in aggro, just to get wide. Or if you're already wide, you can get a 6/6. So I want to say 4 stars as well. I think this card's actually pretty good. I think they're adding some decent cards, just because Druid is losing a lot this set. Miracle Growth, 7 mana nature spell, draw 3, summon a taunt with stats equal to your hand size. I don't think this card's amazing, because it does cost a bit, and Druid's not going to be able to reach that mana as fast as they used to. This is like if you combined that Warlock spell, 4 mana hand size minion, with fungal fortune, kinda, right? And if you look at it like that, this is really strong. So I think perhaps... Oh, let me explain why I think these two kind of go together. Because with this, you're presumably running a big spell deck or something, right? So, if you're drawing cards while you're, like, running big spells, your hand's going to get cluttered. So you want cheap cards to be able to just chuck around afterwards. So I think they fit in the same deck. I mean, it'll definitely see play though. I want to say 3 stars. 3 stars is solid. It's a solid card. It just does a little bit of everything, right? Well, not everything, but gets you draws, gets you minion, gets you taunt. I think it'll be used. 3 stars. Hadra the Heretic. 7 mana Naga. It's a 4/5. Battlecry. For each spell you've cast while holding this, summon a minion of that spell's cost. Faster King Fioris. I think it will see play. Because even if you play this on 7, if you had some like a 6 mana spell, a 5 mana spell perhaps, maybe Flipper Friends, I think it'll be pretty strong. Imagine with Thumb too. Like, you play Flippers, you play Thumb on 6, and then you play like a 6 or less spell with it. That's, you're gonna be getting a lot of stats on the board. So I want to say like 4 stars, honestly. This card seems pretty good, especially if you can play it on 7, get a nice board. Pretty good. I think it'll be good. Kolek, 7 mana, 6/5 beast, colossal, +1. Not a big colossal. Immune while you control his shell, which is a 0/8 with taunt, and gain 8 armor when it dies. I think this is kind of weak, especially because they can't cheat it out as fast as they used to. But it is. It's still kind of annoying to deal with, because you have to deal with the shell first. So maybe it'll see play. It'll probably see play, especially if you can cheat it out somehow with, because they still can ramp, so they still can get this early. So I want to say maybe 3 stars. It is, I think it's one of the weaker colossuses perhaps, but it's still pretty good though, because you can get, it helps you survive pretty well. And what, worst case, it's a 7 mana, gain 8 armor, or you stop 8 damage, gain 8 armor, and have a 6/5. So that's not too bad. Reminds me of the warrior beast. What's it called? The turtle? Turtles love giving 8 armor, I guess. So, I think Druid has some nice cards this expansion. They are losing a lot though. They're losing Eclipse as well. They're Eclipse cards, so it's going to be kind of sucky for them. So hopefully this puts them back up. So, thanks for looking at the Druid reveal. Check out the other ones. Thanks. Okay, bye-bye.